Hey guys, what's going on? It's Coolhouse64 here. Today I want to talk about some of the past issues I've been facing over the past few months. I just felt like the last few months have been really bad for me and have took a really bad toll on my mental health. So I want to open up about some of the issues I've been facing. I know that YouTube may not be the best place for opening up about your issues, but I really wanted to explain to you my feelings on here. And I'm not moaning about anything, I'm just explaining to you all that I want to share my experiences with you guys. I just hope you can understand. So the first thing I want to talk about is me wanting to go to a mainstream school. Like I explained in my previous video, I'll put the video link in the description. I went to a special needs school my whole life, like 3 to 16 years old, and I feel really bad because I never got the chance to go to a primary school or a secondary school in the UK, and I felt when it was like year 11, the last year when I was 15/16, I wanted to go to a mainstream school because I felt like I was missing out. I first thought of applying to a mainstream school in December. Yeah, I was too nervous to go. But then I just finally decided to in January, and my mum had called the education authority and put me on a waiting list. Unfortunately, I didn't get to go to a mainstream school because I started college in September 2022, but I'll get to more on that later. The next thing I want to talk about is watching Dhar Mann. In June 2021, I started watching Dhar Mann. I basically, watched most of his videos, like some of the older ones from that year, and he seemed like a genuinely nice guy who tried to spread out all of these messages and whatnot. I found his channel to be pretty fun, but my sister said like there's something wrong with him. He's like spreading toxic positivity and that. I found Dhar Mann through Sniper when she was reacting to a kid with Down syndrome, that video. Yeah, the older one by Dhar Mann. And yeah. In May 20, however, I noticed something was starting to go a bit wrong. The videos in February to April in 2022 and like early 2022, some of the videos weren't even that bad, but they were still a bit misleading. But then the questionable thing starts. It was in the video, kid pulls fire alarm to skip test. Basically, I noticed that after that video, a load of his thumbnails had drastically changed to this and that. And something was a bit off about Dhar Mann because he started including stuff like weapons and knives in the thumbnails, and sometimes blood as well. I feel like Dhar Mann went downhill since then. He even changed his thumbnails to look like these, and they're really, really bad. They're way worse than some of the ones I ranked in my top 6 worst Dhar Mann thumbnails video, to be honest. So yeah, I noticed something was wrong. I wanted to unsubscribe to him, but I was too scared to. But then I found out about the protests going on happening in February 2023, and I definitely knew something was off about Dhar Mann. He started to include like loads of kids in his videos and hire a bunch of kids. Like, I kind of noticed something was starting to go down. Like, all of his videos like either revolve around a school, involve kids like Mikey, Jay and Eddie, and its lesson would often be to not cheat/lie. Or better yet, no life lesson, as proven in Kid Tries to Kill Mum Friday 14 and Kid Completes 100 Dares in 24 Hours. and it wouldn't surprise me if he ended up with his channel demonetized one day. Yeah, so I unsubscribed to him sometime around like the 18th, I don't know, and I'm kind of glad I did, because like I think Dhar Mann really pirouetted his way downhill. Like since the video Kid Pulls Fire Alarm, I just think that Dhar Mann's been on a really bad downhill spiral. I kind of knew it was going on, but I still didn't want to unsubscribe to him. So the next thing I want to talk about is social media influencer Lauren Burch. She basically does like TikTok dances and posts YouTube videos based on try-on hauls. I liked Lauren Burch. I started following her in January 2021 after I saw that Viral 02 dance, aka the pink skirt mishap, and I liked to start following her then. I liked her for a few months. I wasn't like overly obsessed with her, but that's when that really comes into play, because in April 2022, 2nd of April 2022, I downloaded a few images of Lauren Burch and her twin, Julia Burch, as well. I liked some of their posts, and I've made collages like these, like of different social media influencers. So I decided to make one with Lauren Burch, but I decided to save the images so that it would be easier for me to it'd be easier for me to change the pictures when I could have just copied and pasted. Instead I made a really stupid decision to save all the pictures. And Lauren Burch, if you're watching this, I just want you to know that I'm so sorry for what I did. I think in like May 2022 is when it really got out of hand, because that's the next thing I want to talk about, staying in my room. I wanted to be in my room for a lot of stuff after the Lauren Burch thing. It really started in like May 2022 when I wanted to hide the pictures of Lauren and the other Gloomy girls. Gloomy Girl is Lauren and Julia Burch's company, by the way. I downloaded pictures of the other Gloomy girls like Eva Violet and Sanya Marin, Sanya Hardin, whatever as well. And I saved loads of images, mostly in my room because I didn't want my mum seeing, but then I got really used to staying in my room, and then it led into a downward spiral. But when it really did, it's when I wanted to get pinned on one of her posts after she liked and replied to one of my comments. I was really happy, but then I wanted to be pinned, so I had to wait for her post to come out so I could be the first to like and commented on them. And it ended up turning into a complete downwards pirouette, and like I had to be first for every one of her posts, had to be in my room for it. Mind you, when I got pinned I was downstairs most of the time first, but when I got into my room it ended up becoming a really bad habit, and like I had to like every single one of her posts in her room and comment as well. So I'm really sorry, Lauren. I should never have done any of this stuff. If I had just copied and pasted your pictures off of Twitter, then I wouldn't even have gone through this. It's feeling really bad now because I don't want to unsubscribe to her because I still like her. I want to like her, but not overly obsessed over her, if you know what I mean. Yes, and I often had to wait until I got home for my Instagram posts, and then it became like a really bad thing. I ended up staying on my room loads, and I feel really bad about it. The next thing I want to talk about is my anxiety with time. So basically what this is, I have this thing, you see, where this is like 5 o'clock when it reaches 5:01, that's the second minute in the time for me. So if I fail to do something before 5:01, I would wait until 5:02 to get it done. And it also applies for seconds. I have to wait until hour.second.2. I would have to wait for like this time for it to do it. And it also applied with like multiples of 5 minutes. So say for example 5 o'clock, and when it reached 5:05, if I failed to do something within that, I would have to stop, and then I would have to stop and wait until 5:20, because 5:10 was the second multiple of 10 in the time thing. You get what I mean. But then I started to not worry about like 5:10 and all that. But what still bothered me was like the 01 and 06 or 1 and 6, whatever. I just felt like it forced me to stay in my room all the time. That's another thing what it did, the Lauren Burch thing and the time thing. I was forced to like stop. Yeah, I kept like forcing myself and putting pressure on myself to stay in my room all the time. So yeah, and another thing is, I wanted to play the Nintendo Wii on the Wii U every single day, so that I wouldn't lose my streak, because I like doing streaks and stuff. I had to download a picture of Lauren Burch every single day, and like I had to play the Nintendo Wii every single day. It just got really, just made me feel really anxious after a while. Now, I got really upset with it. So I tried to break those streaks, and now I feel better about it because I don't do it as much. Yeah, so if I don't do something that day, it puts me off from doing it. And another thing is, like, I want to explain the second of things. Like, say there are 10 mini games in Mario Party, I failed at first, but I complete the rest of the 10. It makes me uncomfortable because the first is always left out. And it's the same case for months as well. Like, if something isn't done in January, but it's done in February, I have to forfeit a month. Yeah. So I have to forfeit a month. Just become really frustrating for me. But that was actually before the Lauren Burch and the time thing, believe it or not. But then I moved to college after school. I was a bit upset that I never got a chance to go to a mainstream school. With a mainstream school, I wanted to go because I feel like they do harder work there. Work that's like, because the work at my special needs school was a bit babyish, and also the work there was a bit babyish, and we always did like fun stuff at the end of the term instead of like work. I feel like that. And also we were in a small group of, like, say for example 12 children, and there were 12 children, and actually 4 staff members / teachers, aka support workers, and I just didn't feel happy at my school. So I wanted to apply for mainstream school, but when I moved to college it was too late. But at college it wasn't the best experience either. I was placed into this course which is called, I'm not going to say the real name, it's something like Ticket to Independence, and basically you do stuff there like life skills and stuff you do at your school, special needs school, whatever. And I didn't even like it. I just think I'm better with mainstream children than I am with special needs children. I don't mean to be ableist, but I think that's what I'm comfortable with, more comfortable with. Yeah, so then I really wanted to move to another course, which is, so my mum, my tutor had come up with a plan for me to like move to another course, and it was called like something like media studies, can't say the real name. Something like media studies and that, and I like it. It's not even that bad. They teach you to do stuff like Photoshop on there, but I'm still not really a fan of it because it's in the same hub ticket to independence. And I just don't enjoy college, and I get really, really scared when I think of college, because I'll always think of like the Lauren Burch thing and my time thing, and I'll always associate it with college. It's just like these triangle of events which make me feel really upset, and I just wish that like I could like go to a mainstream school and get all of those worries away. And my course at college is like a 2-year course, and if I don't get to go to a mainstream school by the end of college, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna sit in my bed all day and do absolutely nothing, make nothing of my life, and do everything I can to get into a mainstream school. However, they say that the kids at mainstream schools are really bad bullies and are way worse than the bullies that I got at my school. But I always say, like, you shouldn't judge an experience unless you try it, which I guess is true, probably. I think that I'm probably not going to be able to go to a mainstream school unless I ask very special permission, and I guess that's the only way in. Speaking of the only way, they say the only way to reset exams is to go back to college, but that's not even an option for me. I don't want to go back to post-16 education and retake exams. The only option left for me is mainstream school. I just guess there's always been something messing about with my mental health, like especially like back in 2021 and stuff like that. To be honest, I feel like there's always something I feel upset about. I feel like that I want to go and visit my school only to see my teachers. I just feel like that I want to talk to them again about how I really felt as well as my personal feelings. I know that YouTube isn't the best place to open up about people's personal feelings, but I just wanted to share them with you. I just feel like I've been really pissed over the past few months because of what's happened. And also, another thing bothering my anxiety is I have to have my plushie Shadow with me every time, and it's also causing me anxiety because like I can't be without him, and I feel like that if I set myself away from him, that can be another thing that I can not do a streak of daily. I just really like Shadow. He's my favourite video game character, and I'm worried that if I separate myself away from him, I'm gonna feel really stressed and anxious. You get what I mean? Alright guys, thank you for watching. If you want to subscribe, do so, and you can like if you want, and leave a comment maybe as well. Thank you for watching.